Hello Mark, this is Wendy and my student number is S0041053. Chapter 20. Atrophy, deplore, deprivation, exacerbate, imperative, mitigate, objective, panacea, unprecedented, utilitarian. 10 words in contest. In the space provided, write the letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. Number 1. Atrophy. Verb. Since unused muscles atrophy, an arm or a leg that remains in the cast for some time becomes thinner. If you watch any more of those mindless television programs, my father said, your brain will atrophy. A. To atrophy means A. To grow, B. Waste away, C. To cause pain. Number 2. Deplore. Verb. Bernie deplored his co-workers' habits of taking home paper clips, Scotch tape, pens, and stationery from the office, a practice he felt was dishonest. Many people deplore some of the content on the internet, but feel they must tolerate it because they disapprove just as strongly of censorship. Deplore means A. To condemn, B. To ignore, C. To make worse. Number 3. Deprivation. None. Children who spent their early years in institutions where they receive no love may suffer throughout life from the effects of this deprivation. Weight loss programs typically claim that their members experience no sense of deprivation. You'll never be hungry, they promise. Deprivation means A. A deficiency, B. A feeling of disapproval, C. A strong desire. Number 4. Exacerbate. Verb. Stretching a mosquito bite only makes it worse. The scraping exacerbates the itching and may even cause an infection. Instead of soothing the baby, the sound of the music box seemed only to exacerbate his crying. Exacerbate means A. To find the cause of, B. To relieve, C. To make worse. Number 5. Imperative. Adjective. It is imperative that I renew my driver's license today. It expires at midnight. It is imperative for this letter to reach Mr. Rivera's tomorrow. The boss said, so please send it by express mail. Imperative means A. Impossible, B. Difficult, C. Essential. Number 6. Mitigate. Verb. The disabilities resulting from Mr. Dobbs' stroke were mitigated by physical therapy, but he still has difficulty using his right arm. Time usually mitigates the pain of a lost love. When Richard's girlfriend broke their engagement, he was miserable, but now the hurt is much less. Mitigate means A. To relieve, B. To worsen, C. To reveal. Page number 114. Number 7. Objective. Adjective. Scientists must strive to be totally objective in their observations and experiments, putting aside their personal wishes and expectations. All too often, we let our own prejudice prevent us from being objective in judging others. Objective means A. Personal. B. Open-minded. C. Persuasive. Number 8. Panacea. None. My aunt considers vitamins a panacea. She believes that they can cure everything from chapped lips to heart disease. Rabbi thinks his troubles would be over if he just had plenty of money. But money isn't a panacea. It wouldn't solve all his problems. Panacea means A. A belief. B. A basic necessity. C. A universal remedy. Number 9. Unprecedented. Adjective. When Sandra Day O'Connor was named to the Supreme Court, her appointment was unprecedented. All the previous justices has been men. The spring concert was standing room only. This was unprecedented. The first time in our school's history that the concert had been sold out. Unprecedented means A. Unheard of. B. Unprejudiced. C. Controversial. Number 10. Utilitarian. Adjective. One difference between arts and crafts is that crafts tend to be more utilitarian. They're generally created to serve a specific use. I prefer utilitarian gifts such as pots and pans to gifts that are meant to be just ornamental or beautiful. Utilitarian means A. Unique. B. Practical. C. Inexpensive. Matching words with definitions. Following are definitions of the 10 words. Clearly write or print each word next to its definition. The sentences above and on the previous page will help you decide on the meanings of each word. Number 1. Exacerbate. To aggravate a situation or condition. Make more severe. 2. Mitigate. To make less severe or less intense. Relieve. Unprecedented. Being the first. Unprecedented. Being the first instance of something, never having occurred before. Number 4. Panacea. Something supposed to cure all diseases, evils, or difficulties, cure all. Atrophy. To wear down, lose strength, or become weak, as from disuse, disease, or injury, set of body part to wither away. Deprivation. Lack or shortage of one or more basic necessities. Imperative. Necessary. Urgent. Objective. Not influenced by emotion or personal prejudice, based only on what can be observed. Utilitarian. Made or intended for practical use, stressing usefulness over beauty or other considerations. Deplore. To feel or express disapproval of. Caution. Do not go any further until you are sure the above answers are correct. Then you can use the definitions to help you in the following practices. Your goal is eventually to know the words well enough so that you don't need to check the definitions at all. Page number 116, Chapter 20, Sentence Check 1. Using the answer line provided, Complete each sentence below with the correct word from the box. Use each word once. A. Atrophy. B. Deplore. C. Deprivation. D. Exacerbate. E. Imperative. F. Mitigate. G. Objective. H. Panacea. I. Unprecedented. J. Utilitarian. When families go camping and decide to spend a whole weekend without pizza and TV, some kids think they're experiencing a great deprivation. The last time I had a migraine headache, I tried wrapping a cold, wet cloth over my eyes to mitigate the pain and nausea, but they only got worse. First aid instructions usually advise against moving an accident victim because movement can exacerbate an injury. The election of John F. Kennedy, a Catholic, to the presidency was unprecedented in American history. He was the first Catholic president. Number 5. No one could deplore drinking and driving more than Elena. Her son was killed by a drunk driver. Although an Academy Award is not meant to be utilitarian, one winner uses it as a paperweight. If you find it difficult to be objective about your own writing, try asking a classmate to read it and give you an unbiased opinion. Our city has many different crime-related problems, but the mayor has only one solution to offer: more police officers on the street. She believes an enlarged police force is a panacea. When told that Mrs. Thomas was in conference and could not be disturbed, the caller said urgently, "It's imperative that I speak to her. Her house is on fire." In Burma, some women lengthen their necks by stretching them with copper coils. This practice damages the muscles, causing them to atrophy. They become thin and weak. Note: now check your answers to these questions by turning to page 178. Going over the answers carefully will help you prepare for the next two practices for which answers are not given. Sentence check 2. Using the answer lines provided, complete each sentence below with 2 words from the box. Use each word once. Hands Across America was a fundraising effort to help mitigate hunger in regions where deprivation was widespread. Many people are so opposed to change that they deplore as potentially harmful just about anything that is new and unprecedented. Page number 117, Chapter 20. It's hard to know what treatment is optimum for a sprained ankle. Walking on the ankle can exacerbate the injury, but if you don't walk on it for a long time, the muscles will start to atrophy. If you want to be objective, it is imperative that you put aside your emotions and prejudice in deciding which over-the-counter medicine to take. It's important to use an utilitarian approach, choosing the drug for the specific purpose it serves, and don't rely on any one drug as a panacea. panacea. Final check. Thomas Dooley. Here is a final opportunity for you to strengthen your knowledge of the 10 words. First, read the following selection carefully, then fill in each blank with a word from the box at the top of the previous page. Context clues will help you figure out which word goes in which blank. Use each word once. In the 1950s, a young American doctor named Thomas Dooley arrived in Laos in Southeast Asia. He was shocked by the ubiquitous sickness and poverty he found there. The people lived without plumbing or electricity, and they had no knowledge of health care or even of basic hygiene. For example, one boy with an infected leg had been told not to walk at all, which caused both of his legs to atrophy. The people's lack of knowledge was exacerbated by superstitions and by a reliance on well-meaning traditional healers who sometimes inadvertently gave useless or harmful advice. They might, for example, advocate pig grease for a burn or treat a fracture by Ch20. Dooley deplored the terrible deprivation he saw. He felt that it was imperative to help these communities learn about modern medicine, to help them apply objective scientific knowledge, and equally essential for them to relinquish their harmful superstitions. Dooley did not believe that modern medicine would be a panacea for every problem in Laos, but he firmly believed that he could at least mitigate the people's suffering. Dooley's utilitarian approach to healthcare, based specifically on practical instruction, was unprecedented. No one before him had tried to teach the communities how to care for themselves. Dooley believed that teaching was an integral part of medical care, that it was useless to treat symptoms and allow the causes to continue. So, subsidized by local government, he set up hospitals and taught the rudimentary principles of hygiene, nursing, and medical treatment. Tom Dooley died at a tragically young age, but his work and the tenets that guided it benefited countless people. Scores. Sentence check 2. Final check. Enter your scores above and in the vocabulary performance chart on the inside back cover of the book.